Yeah, there's been an awful lot of talk about the system and the system that Manchester United play, and Ruben Amorim saying, look, if you want to change the system, change the man. I'm not for turning.
Well, he said, unless I want to do it, which I thought was a slight softening of the approach.
I mean, when you're playing in a team and maybe the system isn't suiting the personnel, how much influence can players have on that? Do you think there will be some of the senior pros saying, look, Gaffer?
Yeah, well, maybe there's a chat on it, but I think when you're having the meetings, which Manu will be having this morning, which is debriefing and understanding what's going on, I had this chat with Crookie. Against Arsenal, it wasn't the system. Whenever they play well, it's never the system. Whenever they play bad, it's the system. For me, I think it's the personnel. That you have to understand where Man United are. Did anyone give Man United a chance of winning that game before they went in? I would say no. Maybe
you gave them a point, Andy, didn't you?
Well, I thought City were looking a bit iffy, and United have created a lot. I still think there's a team in there. I still think, but he's got to start winning games.
Oh, of course he does. But I, for the point, I looked at it yesterday when the team sheets came out. I was like, who from Man United gets in the Man City team? Probably one, maybe two, if you've made a real argument and a push.
In Buemo, possibly.
Yeah. So. If you flipped it on the other side, every single player from Man City starts for Man United. So it just, where are we at? What are we expecting? I agree with you, he needs to win games, but also players just need to, there are a lot of selfish moments. There was a moment in the second half, they were losing, but I think it was Ahmad went to wing back, and all he has to do is just set Buemo to shoot. But there's so many score first players in their team, as opposed to thinking, right, who's in the better position, that they're all trying to get their goal. And it just doesn't feel right. They've got the recruitment a little bit wrong, in my opinion, fixating on the forward areas. But there's no point having good strikers and forward players if you can't keep hold of the ball in midfield.
Yeah, talking of strikers, you want to talk about...
Well, there were some stats. Belegger in the Times today had some stats. He says, despite sitting 14th in the Premier League table, Manchester United have registered the most touches in the opposition's penalty area, the most expected goals and the most shots this season. They've also recorded the best shots difference. That's shots taken minus shots faced. So I don't know what's from a statistical point of view, Amorim should be manager of the month. But it's interesting, isn't it?
Something there, you just keep thinking they're going to give somebody a right.
Yeah, they need to score first. If you look at the Fulham game, I don't know if you remember a couple of weeks back, Cunha starts well, he hits the post, he has a great one, tips around the post after like 3 minutes. If one of those goes in, again, now you've got the momentum, tails are up, and maybe they go and they do drop someone 3 or 4-0. The problem you've got is that there's Fernandes talk is really frustrating for me, because it's like, okay, we played him as a 10, that mean it's better. But clearly, he doesn't think he can do the work as a 10. And clearly, if you're the captain and you're the one who has all the say, you've scored a lot of goals that year, he has the right to knock the door and say, hold on, Gaffer, I don't want to play as an 8. Put me as a 10. In pre-season, by the way, not now. And now it's going a bit wrong. It's, Fernandes is the problem. It's not. It's just the fact they've got no legs in that midfield, in that holding midfield. And also, who's the players that keep it? When you watch Rodri, for example, let's look back to yesterday, always available for a pass. When you watch Chelsea, Caicedo, always available. Declan Rice, Zubimendi, or Declan Rice.
Couldn't Kobe Mainu be that player if he gets up to speed?
Yeah, of course he could.
But he could be. But this is the argument I had with Crookie the other day. It's like, Kobe Mainu can fix it. For us on the outside, of course, I've been there, player. Is he proving it day in, day out? The answer would be no, because the manager would put him in otherwise. Yeah. So if I was Kobe Mainu, and this is just me as a person, I'd knock the door this morning and go, hi, Gav, can we have a chat? Yeah. What is it you need me to do to be in the team? And if he says you need to run more, tackle more, pass more, no problem. And every single time I did it in training, every time, I made a tackle. I'd be like that, Gaff. I'm just letting him know in front of everybody, right. This is what you said to do, and I'm doing it. Yeah. And I just make it a point until you play me, because then if you don't play me after 2 weeks, I go, hold on, there's a personal problem here because you said you needed that. I'm delivering it. Yeah. Why aren't I playing? Yeah. But now we have this excuse culture that it's like, we're losing, so he has to change the team. For what?
I think his numbers were quite good the other day as well. But we'll move on. We want to talk strikers. Let's look at it. So we saw Šeško. We saw Šeško. We saw Gyokeres, and we saw Woltemade all play 3 new strikers in the Premier League. You're still not sure about Gyokeres, are you?
No, I probably need to clarify the position. I think he's good. I think he scores enough goals, but I don't think he scores enough goals to beat Haaland, to beat Salah or Isak. I don't think, for what Arsenal need to go over the top, I don't think he scores more than João Pedro over the course of the year.
Well, we'll see.
But do you know what I mean? Just that confidence.
For João Pedro, he's going to be flogged into the ground.
I mean, that was, look at the goal the other day. He kind of attacks that space, doesn't he? Thinking, gambling that Ezra's going to put the ball in. That was a good striker's finish.
Yeah, and that, again, you can't take away from that. The movement for that is really good. I just think when you look over the totality of his career, which I'm a little bit of a nerd, I do this, he doesn't score in the big games. Consistently, and that's what Arsenal are going to need for. So when they played against Man United, and this is perfect because in my family now, because of my wife's side, loads of Arsenal fans. So when they play Man United, can't get any of them on the phone. They're all going missing. The week after against Leeds, he scores 2 and they're phoning my phone. Yeah. So it's like this big thing that he keeps up and down. But
he didn't do it against Liverpool.
He didn't do anything against Liverpool. But they're the games they brought him in for.
Yeah.
Even if you don't score, you're a nuisance, you're a threat. You make other people say, right, we need to deal with you, which opens up space for Saka, Eze, Madueke, whoever it is. And I just think in those moments is where he's going to fall short. And I think in those bigger games, when everyone's up to speed, Havertz will play in those games. I really do.
Interesting. Yeah. Šeško as well, he did have a moment yesterday, but couldn't finish it off. He has not completely hit the ground running, but he's gone into a team that's struggling, isn't he? Which doesn't help.
And also, he's young.
Yeah.
I can't stress this enough. And we spoke about this just off air with Chelsea. If you've got young players who are developing and you go, right, you're the main player, but they've got no one around them, no seniority to go, right, when you had that chance, maybe next time look at doing this, or maybe we could work at it in this, and we can look at clips. What Man United keep doing, especially in the forward areas, buying young, talented players, because I think Højlund's talented as a player, but they don't have anyone to work with him. But you've got Wayne Rooney, Andy Cole, Ruud van Nistelrooy, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Why not bring one of these people and say you are the striker coach?
Yeah.
I just think they're just missing a trick and they're just throwing 60 million, 70 million, you name it.
I don't see Amorim doing that, though.
No, but I think that could be a club appointment now.
Yeah.
Do you know what? A lot of clubs now have a certain striker, a coach that stays.
Yeah.
But I just think they're just missing a trick. I really do.
It may take him a while. And Woltemade, what a start for him. To get up there, score a goal, it ultimately be the winning goal, to get the fans on side. I mean, I would imagine confidence is an awful lot of what a striker's about. And he must be... I was going to say he's 10 feet tall. He literally is.
I think he's in a position of, when you look at it, he is going into a wonderful setup. So for Gyokeres to go to Arsenal, it's difficult. I heard Arteta's interview after the game with Sam, and he said, we're asking him to do things he's never done before. Like that, to me, when he's 27 years old, I'm like, wow, that's crazy. What, like, look after the ball? But maybe he's never been asked to do that. He's always been asked to run in behind. You look at Šeško, Man United are all over the place. And then you look at Woltemade, is that you say it? Yeah. At Newcastle, great coach, great setup, stability's there. They have players that run in behind, which allows him to link the play, which is what he's better at. He's more of a Peter Crouch type than a big old school target man, Duncan Ferguson style. He links the play and he comes onto it. And then obviously when you put the ball to the back post like that, he's got, just...
It's a good header, wasn't it?
Yeah, but he's got 4-foot advantage as well, which helps. Yeah, but he was a great header, and he just fits. But that's a team and a club that identify where they're at, what they're trying to do, and they fix that problem. Yeah, not Man United where it's just paintball and just spray it all up a wall and hope that somebody hits.
True.
Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs, Monday to Friday afternoons 1 till 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.